Welcome to our film on Rusland Horizons. Let's hear from Colin Barr, chairman of the partnership that is putting all this together.
The point of this scheme is that we live in a very beautiful, attractive and traditional landscape. So we want to improve that landscape and maintain it. We want to make sure we retain traditional skills, we improve the wildlife potential in this area, and we learn a lot about the area and teach that to other people, as many people as possible. We're calling it Rusland Horizons because the initiative started in the Rusland Valley, and Horizons because we're not just focusing on the Rusland Valley, we're looking out from there to other areas, and we're also looking forwards and we're looking backwards.
In a moment we will look at heritage skills, hidden heritage and the Greenwood Trail. But first we are going to look at woodlands and wildlife, here in one of the most wooded landscapes in England.
I'm Edward Mills, forester. As a forester, one of the things that we've all been short of for a long time is people to work in the woods. So we're standing in an area that was coppiced about 15 years ago, and then again last winter. There's plenty of product in here in terms of bobbin wood and hurdle making wood, pea sticks and poles and tool handles and that kind of product. Immediately after the coppice is cut, you get this incredible growth of wild plants and especially brambles. But now here we are, 12 years on, the canopy's closed again, all the brambles have died down, there are just a few bluebells on the woodland floor, and this coppice needs cutting again. It's really important to bring these woodlands back into some kind of coppice management. They've been cut for coppice for centuries that we know of, and this has tremendous wildlife benefits. So there are some really important communities of woodland birds and declining butterflies and moths, and of course the wild plants, they also benefit from the sunlight and warmth that comes in.
As you would expect, all this management results in a variety of woodland products. One of these is charcoal, another one is timber, and of course there is firewood. Our scheme is not just about woodlands, it's also about other landscape features. Hedging is important. So we're also looking at the wildlife of the area.
I'm Bob Cartwright and I'm a trustee and secretary of the Westmoreland Red Squirrel Society. This is an area which is great for red squirrels, and red squirrels still exist in this area, but it's also right at the front line for the invasion of greys from the southeast. So we really need local people particularly, but also visitors, to tell us where they see red squirrels. It's really a community-inspired initiative that engages all aspects of people's interest in this remarkably special area of South Cumbria.
Squirrels aren't the only wildlife we will be helping. Other species include the dormouse. Plants and butterflies also benefit from good woodland management.
I'm Martin Wayne. I work with butterfly conservation as part of the nature improvement area for the Morecambe Bay Limestones project. Today we've been working with a group of volunteers from the Rusland Horizons project. We've been planting primrose and we've been planting cowslips out on the area of High Dam at the top here. That's an area that's particularly good for a very, very rare butterfly called the Duke of Burgundy. We recently found a population here which seems to be doing very well, and what we hope to do by planting out the plants today is to extend it across the landscape.
All this wonderful work needs to be done by skilled people, which leads us on to the need to conserve our heritage skills, the second of our main themes. We will be setting up apprenticeship schemes.
So I'm Rebecca Oakes. I chair the Bill Hogarth MBE Memorial Apprenticeship Trust. This opportunity with Rusland Horizons is fantastic for us. You know, there's hope for funding for 2 new apprentices. Having it sort of focused in the Rusland Valley is really apt because of course this is the heartland of where Bill worked, and he and his father before him, of course, because he was one of the last chaps that actually learnt from his father. They, between them, coppiced all the woods in this valley at some time. Because as we know, a lot of the woods have been left neglected. You know, they haven't been managed very intensively for the last sort of 30, 40 years, really. And the more we can bring woods back into management, I think the better the health of the woodlands and the ecology of the woods. You know, the apprenticeship scheme is about training people to be self-employed coppice workers. There aren't jobs in coppicing as such. So I think what the legacy of the Rusland Horizons project will be 2 new coppice businesses in the area.
We will be running courses. Here's an example, making besoms. Some of these will be long courses to equip young people with the skills they need to find employment. We will also have shorter courses for the hobbyist and enthusiast.
We started with a barn full of Walter's miscellaneous collection of stuff, and within that there's a very beautiful collection of hand tools, and the point of the project is to identify, catalogue and renovate that collection to create a public tool library that will be available and free for people to use, so that not everybody has to own their own one of everything. The library is going to be hosted by Stock Park Bobbin Mill, which is an English heritage property just on the west shore of Windermere, and they have a lovely boat shed with sort of wooden pillars, and each of these shadow boards will be hinged like a book. So there'll be tools on both sides, and you'll be able to open and close it and go and choose what you want and hopefully put it back in the right place.
Right, Adam, let's get on with some work.
Yeah, clean this out then.
Clean it out, and we'll call this rubbish back so we can work clean and tidy. A lot of these skills are very traditional. It is not long ago that the valley would have been ringing to the sound of people working in the woods and fields. You are putting up something to last in a traditional fashion that time has proven it will last. And at relatively low cost. A fence will rot away, hedge if it's not maintained will die back, burn itself out, a stone wall won't, and it will house an awful lot of wildlife. It will do the landscape good. Our area is rich with archaeological sites and has a long and proud history. Our next theme is called Hidden Heritage.
I'm Eleanor Kingston, archaeologist at the Lake District National Park Authority. We're here at Cumbria Forge, which has a very long and complex history of iron smelting and working. What we would like to do here is clear the site of the rubbish and vegetation that exists here to enable us to go and survey the site and really work out what is happening, what features are left here. We'd like to do some geophysical survey to work out where the bloomery furnaces exactly were, and also some limited excavation to tell us more about how the site worked. We'd like to run this as a community project and be able to have community involved in all sorts of work here. The volunteers do the practical surveying work and excavation work alongside the professional archaeologists.
The problem is that a lot of this is disappearing as the woodland changes, and it's really important that we try and get some kind of evidence and information about where it all is.
There are many local people who have a wealth of knowledge about our area, and this must not be lost. We will have an oral history programme to capture these memories. They are important reminders of a traditional way of life.
I dug old Amos Martindale's grave up in Sat Churchyard a lot of years since.
So that was
up council.
His father though?
Yeah, Roger's father.
Roger's father. Local residents are also the only ones who know the old field names and place names. These names are very interesting historically, as they give clues about what went on in a bygone age.
So my name's Mandy Lane, and I've been out chatting with the local farmer, Henry Watson, about the field names.
This field here.
Great field.
Okay, thanks.
And what's interesting is some of the field names change as the ownership changes. It's a question of capturing this information to record it for the project and speaking to the local farmers around the area.
The fourth part of the scheme is called the Greenwood Trail. We want our residents and visitors to have a chance to explore the area, preferably on foot or on a bike, and to share with them all that is special about the Rusland Horizons area. There will be clear trails to follow and better interpretation than we have at the moment. So there we are. These are just some examples of the kinds of activities and projects we are planning to carry out as part of Rusland Horizons. Thanks for watching.
So if we can get people to really appreciate their surroundings and their habitats and the environment in which they live and pass that on to future generations, then the future of the Rusland Valley and the Rusland Horizon becomes much close, doesn't it? It's a very exciting prospect.